Welcome back muli mga kaibigan sa bagong muling mga balita na ating mapapakinggan at mapapanood dito sa channel ng Bayan, ang Bayang Pinas. Dito, ating matutunghayan ang mga bagay na nangyayari sa ating bansa, partikular na umano sa loob na mismo ng gobyerno at lalong-lalo na dito sa kasalukuyang administrasyon. Ngunit bago ang lahat, kung bago ka pa lamang sa ating channel ay siguraduhin mong ikaw ay mag-subscribe, pindutin ang notification bell at syempre piliin na rin ang all upang lagi kang maging updated sa mga balitang bago, totoo at walang bias. Syempre mga kaibigan at kung mga ating mga solid viewers naman dyan ay maraming salamat naman po sa inyong walang sawang pagsuporta. At huwag din pong kalimutang magpakita ng suporta sa ating channel sa pamamagitan ng pag-like at pag-share sa ating mga videos. At syempre mga kaibigan, kung meron ka naman pong hinaing at opinyon, ang ating comment section ay bukas para sa inyong mga opinyon at mga hinaing at kung ano po ang nais nyong sabihin sa ating mga gobyerno upang mabasa na ito. Heto na nga mga kaibigan, atin nang panoorin at pakinggan ang balitang ito. Welcome back muli mga kaibigan sa bagong muling mga balita na ating mapapakinggan at mapapanood dito sa channel ng Bayan, ang Bayang Pinas. Dito, ating matutunghayan ang mga bagay na nangyayari sa ating bansa.
Ba, tinang-akap niya na. Anak ng toko. Mayari ho talaga tayo dito. Ha? Eto, dito tayo kay Franz, kay Aling Iska.
Rosalie, may update na ba mula sa tanggapan ng Secretary
Ito na ho ang update.
General ng kaugnay nitong mga nakabimbing impeachment complaints laban kay VP Duterte?
Ella, mula noong Lunes hanggang ngayong araw ng Huwebes, walang pahayag ang tanggapan ni House Secretary General Reginald Velasco kaugnay ng mga tanong ng media sa kahihinatnan ng impeachment complaints laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Inihain ng mga reklamo noong pang December 2024 dahil sa questionableng paggastos ng Vice Presidente ng kanyang confidential funds. Kaya naman nagdududa na si House Deputy Minority Leader, Acting Chair's Party List Representative Franz Castro, kung meron pa bang ika-4 na impeachment complaint. Yan kasi ang idinadahilan ni House Secretary General Velasco kung bakit hindi pa niya na itatransmit yung impeachment complaints na nakabinding sa kanyang tanggapan sa opisina ni Speaker Martin Romualdez. Isa si Congresswoman Castro sa nag-endorso ng ikalawang impeachment complaint. Pakinggan natin ang pahayag ng kongresista.
Medyo matagal-tagal na rin ang ganyang pronouncement, no? Hindi natin alam kung totoo nga ba yan o hindi. Wala akong nakikita signal dito sa mga kasamahan namin dito sa House of Representatives, kahit nakasipagdungin mo sila, wala silang alam.
Dagdag pa ng kongresista, walang sino mang lumalapit sa kanya para humingi ng suporta sa sinasabing ika-4 na impeachment complaint. Tatawagan din niya ngayong araw ang House Secretary General kaugnay ng mga nakabinding reklamo. Magsasagawa rin anya ng mga pagkilos ang kanilang kampo kasama ang iba pang naghain ng impeachment complaints laban kay VP Duterte upang kalampagin ang Kongreso kaugnay nito, kabilang na ang isang demonstrasyon sa January 31. Samantala, pinabulaanan naman ni Congresswoman Castro ang aligasyong ginagamit nila ang issue ng impeachment bilang propaganda sa paparating na halalan.
Whether may election yan o wala, talagang prinsipyo namin itong accountability and transparency kahit na sino pa yan nandiyan, no? Kaya hindi totoo na ginagamit namin ito na dahil sa election.
Lamang 5 araw na may plenary session ang House of Representatives bago muling mag-adjourn sa February 7. Balik sa iyo, Ed.
Wala na ho talagang oras. Malamang sa malamang, tanggap na rin ho niyang si Franz Castro na hindi talaga magdidire-diretso. Wala na nga oras Kahit yung mga kasama niyo, kagaya nitong si Atras Abante, alam nila na wala na, tapos na yung impeachment. Next na lang, better luck next time. Kaso, tapos ka na, di ba? O malapit ka na rin makalaboso. Siyempre, hindi ka na sa yung apilan nyo sa saan ba silang umapila? Supreme Court? O yung apilan ng yung conviction nyo, naku, malapit na ho kayong makalaboso, Franz Castro. Eto, rekta ho tayo dito kay Kong Dante. Sagutan ni Kong Dante at nitong si Dan Fernandez. Gang!
Proposals submitted to NGCP. share purchase agreement among Henry C., Robert Kyoto, and C.
Ang problema kasi sa'yo, Dan, nagpakakups ka, sir. Nagpakakups ka, yun ang problema sa'yo. Okay ka na sana eh. Hindi ka naman namin, wala naman kaming pakialam sa'yo eh. Kaso binanatan mo itong si Tatay Dig, si VP Sara. Siguro yung hindi niya mahindian yung yung offer sa kanya eh. Akala niya ganun-ganun lang. Hindi niya alam pagka inumpisahan na, wala naman siya. Nakatanggap na siya eh. Diba? Kung ano man yung napagkasunduan nilang dalawa ni nakatanggap ng suporta kay Tamba. Yung kumpiyansa ba? Nakatanggap na ng kumpiyansa. Kumbaga suporta. Kung bahala sa'yo, susuportahan kita. Diba? Nakatanggap siya ng ganun kay Tamba. Ngayon, wala na. Diba? Kaya ngayon, nakikipagsabayan na siya. Pero alam niya na na matatalo siya dyan sa kandidatura niya ng pagka-gobernador dyan sa Laguna. Talo ho yan, talo.
Energy Grid and Development Incorporated submitted to us as well. Number 7, proof of approval by the Philippine Stock Exchange and Philippine Competition Commission of the share purchase agreement or the share swap transaction among Henry C., Robert Kyoto, and Synergy Grid.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
This is a administrative matter, Mr. Chairman.
No, but I would like to make a point of order, Mr. Chair, because I am guided by the subject matter of the inquiry. This is a motu proprio inquiry on the performance of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines. So we are supposed to be assessing the performance of NGCP and in relation to the very objective of lowering the price of electricity. I do not find the connection why the Honorable Fernandez is asking several documents to be submitted before this committee.
Can you
I think,
Mr. Chairman, because with all these documents that we are asking from the NGCP,
Ano yan? Nag-google niya yan, Kong. Nag-google niya. Sinearch niya sa Google, kailangan kong pasubmit tong mga ng mga dokumento na to. Yun, lumabas sa Google, kaya kayo pinapasubmit niya.
we will be able to assess
Google,
their performance.
Mr.
Because
Chair,
all
the
pertinent
one that
documents
will
coming from
assess the
NGCP,
performance
and we
of
haven't received
NGCP,
any
Mr.
documents
Chair.
yet coming from NGCP just now.
Brad, wala ka na sa wala ka na sa Twadcom. Huwag mo na kaming idaan-daan dyan sa mga pabola-bola mo na ganyan. Yung dyan, yung chairman, hindi na si anong pangalan to? Hindi na si Ace Barbers. Si Tambunting na. Kaya, sa bagay, pare-parehas lang naman yan. Yung si Tambunting na malaki yung chan na yan. Pare-parehas lang. Diyan sa committee na yan na contempt yung si Doc Badoy, at saka itong si Ka Eric.
Now, ngayon lang tayo nakareceive ng document sa kanila eh. Pipigilan niyo ako na kunin to. Ang tagal-tagal ko na kinukuha to. 2019 pa.
Nako, yabang
Mr.
ka. Tagal-tagal ko no. 2019. Di ko totoo yan. Mema ka lang kasi sobrang baba mo sa survey sa lugar nyo. Yun ang totoo doon. Nakikipagtagisan ka kay Kung Dante kasi mataas siya sa survey. Yun, mainit siya sa sa social media.
Naman, if I may proceed. Minutes of meeting for the election of corporate officers of NGCP. NGCP corporate policies on the functions and qualifications of officers and audit committee, compensation committee, and nomination and election committee. Number 10, authorization from the Department of Justice for the employment of technical personnel, list of names of nationality and all of managerial employees of NGCP, including the respective job descriptions and years of employment. Number 12, complete organizational chart of NGCP. Number 13, tripartite agreement of Transco and GCP, DICT in relation to the National Broadband Plan, and lease agreement between NGCP and DICT in relation to the National Fiber Backbone. Now, Mr. Chairman, I will proceed. Mr. Chairman,
first of all, I find it a little bit difficult to understand why Transco is the one passing judgment on the performance of NGCP. I'd like to believe, Mr. Chair, it should be ERC who should be advising us on the aspects and the pertinent indicators for us to understand whether or not NGCP performed well in accordance with the role. Kasi, Mr. Chair, I think it is better for us to determine which performed better in relation to the grid performance. Nung panahon ba ng Transco o nung panahon na ng NGCP? This is more understandable for us. Lawmakers, kaya namin intindihin ito, ma'am, but I don't think you are in a position to pass judgment on the performance of NGCP. Kayo po ang may-ari niyan eh. Kayo ang may-ari, pero sila po yung operator ngayon. But I think, and Madam ERC, kayo po ang kayo po ang merong role dito eh. But before that, Mr. Chair, I think you made the opening salvo and said that the very purpose of this hearing is for us to determine or to lower the rates of electricity in this country. If that is the primordial objective, I believe, Mr. Chair, the cost share of NGCP in the entire electric bill of our people is only 3%. 52% still in generation. 25% is in distribution. So if we are serious enough in focusing our attention in reducing the electricity in this country, let us focus on which area takes up the largest share. Dapat sa generation tayo eh. Pero ang daming problema po, Mr. Chair eh. I already pointed out this to the DOE. Noon po, ERC muna. If we wanted to reduce the electricity in this country, let me ask the ERC, bakit hanggang ngayon po wala kayong regulations on aggregation? Bakit yun ating pong ARCOA hindi nyo pinatutupad? This is where we can reduce our electricity. Retail competition and open access is a provision in EPIRA that we have not seriously considered. Ilan po yung nag-migrate from the captive market of Meralco? Ilan po kaya? Napakalaki po ng relation nito, Mr. Chair. If we are really serious to lower the electricity in this country, kailangan po nating i-implement po yung EPIRA. Nandun po yung sinasabing retail competition and open access. So, alam po ba ninyo kung ilan ang nakaka-graduate or migrate from the captive market of Meralco para contestable market na sila? Wala naman kayong report eh. What about aggregation? There are no rules on aggregation here. Pagkatapos ni-raise po namin ang issue way noon pa, you suddenly adopted a modality you call performance-based rate. Mr. Chair, before we had EPIRA, ang ating pong modality is RORB. This is return on base rate, which is more practical because everything else is based on CAPEX. Kung ano po yung gastos ninyo, doon tayo kikita. Pero doon sa performance-based na po kung ano lang pinlano nila, hindi pa po natin napatunayan kung talagang yung plano natupad. Doon na po natin i-base ang singil. Kaya ang taas-taas po And we need to look into the system loss. Magkano po yung system loss? Meralco, maybe 10%. Electric cooperatives, maybe 20%. Ang taas po. Bakit hindi po ito yung unahin natin? Why are we focusing our attention on the transmission, which is only 3%?
Thank you very much, Honorable Marcoleta. Ano po, napaganda ho ng inyong
Mr. Chairman,
natin yung mga tanong.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable,
Mr. Chair, into support.
Clarification, Mr. Chair. Kaklaruhin lang po natin ito, ha? Meron pa ho isang pang presentation.
Yes,
Patapusin po natin muna yung isang presentation, then lahat ng mga nakalista.
Point of clarification, Mr. Chairman.
Maayos po yung ating presentation.
Mr. Chairman, point of clarification and point of information. And hindi po naman natin dinidepensa ang Transco. But tama po si Congressman Marcoleta that we have to follow kung ano sinasabi ng ating pong EPIRA. And specifically, EPIRA law, binabanggit po yan sa Section 34F. Para po i-determine yung pong rate base, Transco and distribution utility, ang sinasabi, shall not be allowed to include management inefficiencies like cause of project delays. And that's the reason why Transco, binabanggit po nila yung mga delays ng mga project.
Okay.
And it is the right of the Transco na sabihin po sa atin, ano itong mga proyekto na nadidelay po. And that's the reason why sinusuportahan po ng EPIRA Law under Section 34F that the management inefficiencies and cause of the project delays must be considered and must be updated by the Transco.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dan Fernandez.
Mr. Chair,
We will now proceed.
Mr. Chair, before we move,
With,
because you gave point of clarification kay
Yeah.
that, so it's my time siguro.
No,
just
no,
just
wala
one
po.
point clarification lang, Mr. Chair.
Before,
I think I discussed already last time.
Honorable President De Jesus.
Rekta na ho tayo doon sa rektang pagtatanong nitong si Kong Dante.
Not alone, Mr. Chair.
Not alone. Thank you, because there are a lot of things and factors that must be considered. Is it correct to assume that there was an ERC resolution some time ago where you set the return on equity for distribution at 13.65%?
Mr. Chair, I do not recall that particular, because there's a different percentage governing the distribution utilities po.
Suppose I show to you that particular resolution before this day ends, na 13.65%. What will be the penalty that you should owe this committee? Meron po eh. Huwag po niyo sabihin hindi. You set, nasa resolution po ninyo eh. 13.65%.
I'm trying to recall, Mr. Chair, because if you can share the year,
Namaya
then
po
maybe
kasi
we can
kukunin ko
trace
po
po.
doon sa aking notebook eh, nandun
Apa.
eh. But I
Kasi
assure
po-
you there is one.
Sige po.
The reason why I'm asking this, because yung 13.65% hindi natutupad because you are not even examining the financials of Meralco. Pag tingnan po nyo, yung return on equity is already more than 23%. Yun po yung pinagmumula ng taas ng kuryente ngayon. Because you might be barking on a wrong tree. My friend Melvin Matibag, when you made this statement earlier, what office did you represent?
I said I'm the former president. I'm now one of the consumers, and
No,
I'm
but you
representing the Filipino.
made a statement earlier.
I was asked by the committee to make a statement regarding
Yes.
my experience as the previous president of the National Transmission Corporation,
So you were with Transco at the time.
2017 until 2022.
Yes, that's
In
why you
fact,
were able.
just to be honest, most of the documents being plus here
Kaya nga,
was
the reason why you were
provided
able
by
to
the chair.
make a statement because you were with Transco at the time.
That's correct,
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
And you said that you have not had the opportunity of inspecting the facilities NGCP. Did I hear you right?
That's correct, and it's even supported by a letter coming from NGC.
Never, not once.
When I was new, they invited me to view all the screens, but not the facilities. And in fact, as I was saying, there is a letter dated
Up to
August
what
28,
extent were you allowed to visit?
only in the monitor room.
The what?
The monitor room, the monitoring room, then they said how the electricity flow. I've never seen the equipment, the narrating and everything, just the screens.
NGCP, is that correct?
Mr. Chair, with all the respect to Mr. Matibag, he was allowed on the floor, the system operations floor in Quezon City, a place usually reserved only for our dispatchers. Our guests are usually confined to conference room beside it, but because Mr. Matibag and then Secretary Kusi were, of course, had a spot visit, we did allow them to come in without notice.
That's exactly what I'm saying with the monitors. Di ba yun? Sa Quezon City?
Mr. Matibag, that was for the system
what I'm
operations,
saying,
not
the
just the monitor, sir. That's the control center. That's where everything happens. That's why that's a very high secure area that I myself cannot enter without going through the security protocols, even though I am an employee of NGCP.
Okay, Mr. Chair, may I continue? I think that was settled. Kanina po, sinabi ko na parang pinagtitripan natin ng NGCP sapagkat ang pinagmumulan po ng cost natin sa ating electric bill, kung pag-uusapan ng NGCP po, transmission, is only 3%. Parang ayaw po nilang maniwala. Mr. Chair, ako po, religiously po na kino-compute ko po, alam ko yun eh. Alam ko po 3%, yung nagsasabi po ng 10%, nagsisinungaling yun kasi hindi niya alam yung ancillary services. Alam ko po yun eh. 3% lang talaga. Madam ARC, may I continue with you, please? When you failed to provide regulatory reset for 2 regulatory periods, did it affect the operational cost of NGCP?
Mr. Chair, I don't think so, Mr. Chair, because they were still able to declare dividends during those periods.
That does not answer my question. They might have declared dividends, but I'm talking about operational cost. They might have absorbed the costs. Do you have an idea as to how much they lose? Or they lost?
Mr. Chair, they would have filed losses, but since they had unrestricted retained earnings, and from those unrestricted retained earnings were able to declare dividends, I would understand that they were able to cover their costs during that period where there was no reset.
So that is the kind of reasoning that you will give this committee. Kaya pala, kahit na mandatorily, kailangan kang gumawa ng regulatory reset. You are all taking your sweet time. Sapagkat alam ninyo, walang nawawala sa kanila. Is that your presumption, Madam?
With all due respect, Mr. Chair, I beg to differ. This
So
commission has...
You believe there is no cost on the part of NGCP?
No, there is cost, Mr.
That's
Chair,
why
of
I'm
course.
asking you, do you have an idea as to how much NGCP might have lost?
No, they did not file for losses, Mr. Chair. They filed for,
I'm not asking you, ma'am, if they filed for losses.
I
I'm
thought that
asking
was
you
the
if you have an
question, Mr.
idea.
Chair.
If you have an idea, please say so. Kung wala, okay lang.
Wala po, kasi po ang final po nila ay increase in authorized revenue.
NGCP, do you agree?
Mr. Chair, with all due respect to Attorney Mona, what we filed for was correct, but that is because it represents an under-recovery on the part of NGCP.
How much was the amount of under-recovery?
For, I think, our 4th regulatory period, we claimed for, applied for an under-recovery of 200 billion pesos.
200 billion pesos?
Yes, sir, because as you already mentioned, the last regulatory period approved by the ERC was conducted in, regulatory approval was conducted in 2009 for the period ending 2015. So beginning 2016 up to this date, the revenue scheme that we have been working on is interim in nature and no longer reflects the required capital expenditure needed for the continued development of the transmission system.
What was your capex in 2014?
Around 48 billion.
You might want to review your records. I'm asking 2014, madam.
Let me go back, Mr. Chair, to my records.
Huwag kang ninenervyos, ma'am. Wala namang nagko-contempt dito eh. Wala na si Congressman Paduano. Si Dan Fernandez hindi mahilig sa contempt yan.
Pambihira talaga. Talagang susundot pa tong si Kong Dante.
Do you have the May I be given a
Sige,
moment?
balikan na kita, ma'am,
Yes, sir.
mamaya. Sa IMAP po, sir, pwedeng tanungin ko kayo.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Your Honor, please.
Sa EPIRA po, sino talaga yung independent market operator?
IMO po, after the transition.
Di, PMC po eh, di ba?
Hindi po, it's IMO na after the transition. Nagsimula po kasi yun, nung magkaroon ng AGMO, PEMC po.
Add mo nga po yun. Pero
Opo.
PEMC dati yun.
Opo, then nag-transition po to the IMO, which is now IMOP.
And the transition happened
2018 po.
2018. Afterwards, you registered IMAP in the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Ay, hindi po. We are a non-profit, non-stock corporation po.
So ano po ang IMAP?
It's a non-stock, non-profit corporation, sir.
Ano nga po siya?
It's a corporate entity.
Wala po, hindi po ba na-transfer sa inyo yung assets ng ng PEMCO, ng PEMC?
Na-transfer po yung assets ng market operations.
Yun nga po, kung hindi kayo legal entity, na-transfer ang assets po, medyo mahirap po yan tayo.
Legal entity,
Kasi
sir?
kayo po kasi kumukolekta ngayon ng market fees, tama?
Yes, sir. Opo. Under
Karaniwan
Pera.
po, o noon, ang kumukolekta lang PEMC. Ngayon, pati kayo kumukolekta na, kaya doble-doble na po ang binabayaran po ng mga consumers.
Hindi po. Because the fees that were used to be collected by PEMC is now being collected by AMOP. So hindi po na doble, na-transfer lang po.
Hindi po ganun ang nasa record, sir.
Ay, hindi po yun po ang, yung po ang totoo po.
Hindi po, babalik naman po kayo rito. Then I will confront you with all this, the records.
Yes, sir, opo.
Kailangan lang po, nagkakaintindihan tayo.
Yes, sir, opo.
Ang sabi po ninyo, kaya kayo nandyan because kayo ang, ewan ko, non-profit. Pero, di ba ang inyo pong katungkulan niya yung WSM?
Market operator po ng WSM, opo.
Kayo po nga ang sa WSM. Bakit po nilagay ang WSM ng EPIRA? Ano po ang objective?
Because before the PIRA, o before the WSM, di po ba lahat ng pagmimili ng
O nga po,
kuryente?
ba't po tayo nagkaroon ng WSM?
Sa akin pong pagkakaunawa, yung kaya po tayo nagkaroon ng WSM to allow flexibility in contracting para po may source ng kuryente kung walang kontrata and para maging balancing market po siya. Kung
Makakatulong po sa pagpapababa ng ating elektrisidad.
Opo.
Pag binasa nyo po yung konteksto ng EPIRA.
Opo, sir.
Pero hindi po ganun na nangyayari. Meron po kayong pinakamataas, yung top po ninyo is 32 pesos per kilowatt hour. Maabot po tayo doon, tama o hindi?
Meron lang po mga intervals na gano'n, pero on the average po, hindi po tayo nagte-32
Oo nga, pero
pesos.
umabot po tayo doon. Ang ibig ko sabihin, dapat hindi po tayo maabot ng gano'n sapagkat mas mataas pa po kayo ng doble sa Meralco. Hindi po yun ang rational ng kasi po ang pinag-uusapan natin ngayon, kung paano natin ipabababa ang presyo ng kuryente, titingnan po natin lahat.
Opo, sir. Yung 32 pesos po is the offer cap allowed by ERC in the meantime.
Pero, ibig sabihin, hindi po dapat umabot doon. Kaya nga nandyan po kayo eh.
Yes, sir. Hindi naman
Sino po yung nag-o-audit ng WSM?
ERC po.
Tama po. Anong pangalan po ng auditor?
Yung iba-iba po yan eh. So yung pinakahuli po, Reyes Tacandong po yung auditor po
Hindi
na.
po, ang sinasabi ko, Mr. Representative from IMAP, di po ba magbebenta yung generation company? Tapos ililista nyo. Yung po, sino yung nag-o-audit nung paano nyo may babato ng ganitong presyo, yung mga ganon? Hindi po ba sinusunod nyo ay algorithm lang?
Meron po tayong system, opo.
Yun po, the system of algorithm.
You may say that.
Yun po ang problema natin kung sinong nag-o-audit ng algorithm, Madam ERC. Dapat po tingnan ninyo ito sapagkat dito po sumisirit ang presyo ng electricity. Parang yung NGCP na lang po kasi tinitingnan natin. Nakakahalata na po kami. Transco. Madam, sabi po nyo kanina, hindi po kayo nakakapag-visit sa facilities ng NGCP na para bang itinatago sa inyo. Kayo naman ang may-ari. Hindi man lang kayo pinapayagang makarating doon. Sinabi po nyo kanina, di ba?
Mr. Chair, I believe I did not say that.
Ikaw naman yata kaibigan ang nagsabi?
Yes. In fact, there's a letter from NGCP. And let me read from the letter. NGC replied on a request to do audit and visit. They replied August 28. We reiterate our opposition to the performance asset and audit for lack of legal basis. Therefore, we regret to inform your office that NGCP cannot accede to the planned pilot audit. And let me answer, in relation to that, yung ginawa po namin at Attorney Mutchan na pumunta ron, you very well know that is only ceremonial. Dinala kami ron ng secretary para mag-picture taking. Yun lang po yun.
Thank you very much, Attorney. Was that, please proceed. You still have 1 minute, Honorable Marcoleta.
Bigyan
By
mo
1
naman ako
minute.
ng kahit 3 minutes lang, sir.
Opo.
Meron pong concession agreement, Mr. Chair, na nandun po, annually, pwede pong mag-inspection po kayo ng books and the facilities sa NGCP. Did you not see that, Madam?
We know of that provision, Mr. Chair.
You know that provision, but you did not take advantage of that provision. Nandun po yun eh. Hindi po pwedeng hindi sila pumayag.
Mr. Chair, as mentioned earlier po, we have that TR flat with PISAM.
Malalim na ho kasi yung problema natin dyan eh. Diyan sa napakataas na presyo ng kuryente. Sa buwatan na ho, sa apakatan na sila. From generation, transmission, hanggang sa distribution, meron hong silang, kumbaga sa buwatan na nangyayari. Kaya hindi mo pa bababa yung presyo ng kuryente. Pero, kung sakaling manalo itong si Kong Dante, malamang sa malamang, kung maging senador yan, talagang tatrabahuhin niya yan. Yung mga sabwatan dyan, saka yung mga naglalabi, matatrabaho ni Kong Dante yan.
And part of the TR flat, or that's the transmission regulatory, yung TRFLA stand for several areas. So, we may portion po sa TR flat that on the books and records of NGCP. Now, we can, with proper notice, we can get access to the books and records to verify or visit the performance by NGCP of its mandates under the concession agreement. I'm just paraphrasing, pero that's how I'm recalling it now. So, we take advantage of the inspection of books and records. Kaya lang po along the way, merong areas na hindi kami nagkakasundo. Sa scope, may hindi lang po napapagkasundoan. And then also for certain aspects, meron din pong, so generally, meron pong navivisit, merong hindi. That's that's about it po. I cannot give more details kasi nga po this part also of the issue between Transco and GCP.
Mr. Chair, may I be allowed to say something?
Nung ang Transco po ang humahawak pa ng ating transmission, can you honestly say that transmission cost is cheaper?
Mr. Chair, I think they are not directly comparable in that sense kasi po ngayon ang denominator po sa transmission cost is the demand
Madam,
for energy. So kung
This committee will be the one to judge whether it is comparable or not.
in terms of
You just have to answer my
numerical
question.
number, I believe nasa mga yung 45 centavos ngayon before was maybe at 60 centavos if I'm not
Di
mistaken.
mas matas kayo, di ba, ma'am? Okay. During your time, can you safely say that there are fewer brownouts as compared today when NGCP is the one handling the transmission?
I
Mas
cannot
marami
recall
po kayong brownout, ma'am. Ako nasasagot.
wala pong ng records.
ERC, ma'am. If we will have more connections that will become, or if we will have more communities that will become contestable markets, we will have the chance of lower electricity. Correct?
Tama po, Mr. Chair.
Ibig sabihin natin, palalaganapin natin yung retail competition and open access para bumaba po. Nandun po.
Apo.
If aggregations is maximized in communities, electricity will be further reduced.
Tama
Yes,
po,
ma'am.
Mr. Chair.
If we remove the 12% VAT in electricity, we can lower electricity further. Tama, ma'am?
Immediately, Mr.
Immediately and significantly. If we remove the excise tax in fuel, which feed the generation system, especially the backload, we will certainly lower our electricity, madam. Tama. DOE. Yes, ma'am. Madam DOE, considering ang ating pong mga fuel ngayon are more or less imported, yung pong nagme-maintain ng ating baseload, coal and petroleum, hindi natin mapapababa ang kuryente. LNG is also imported. Tama po?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Last 1 minute of your 3-minute extension. Because we gave you the 3 minutes because you're the senior citizen.
Madam DOE representative.
Yarin lamang nabitin na itong si Kong Dante sa oras niya. Dito na ho natin.